Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a raw, super powerful speech all about what it truly means to be dedicated. And look, it's a word we all think we know, right? But the source material we're about to unpack argues that most of us, we've barely even scratched the surface.
And really, the entire message kicks off with this one huge question. Why do we give up so easily? We all start things with so much energy and excitement. But when that initial hype wears off and the results don't show up right away, that's when the real test starts. And let's be honest, it's a test most of us fail. To make this real, the speech points to the singer Kehlani. She was plugging away in the music industry for a full decade, 10 years, before she finally landed her biggest hit. Think about that. That's a long, long time to keep believing when the world isn't really giving you much reason to.
And hey, if you think 10 years is a long time, get this. The band Clips, they were at it for 20 years. They even broke up for a decade, then came back in their late 40s to drop their most celebrated album. I mean, these are not overnight successes. These are masterclasses in just relentless, long-haul commitment.
Okay, so how do we get there? How do we build that kind of dedication? Well, the speech lays out 5 key ideas. We're calling it the commitment ladder, and we're going to climb it together step by step. So, first up, the dedication deficit. This is the root of the problem. It's not a lack of talent or opportunity that stops most people. It's a massive misunderstanding of what real dedication actually looks like and feels like day in and day out. And look, the speaker does not pull any punches. This quote gets right to the heart of it. We live in this world where we want everything yesterday, but real success, the stuff that lasts, it operates on a totally different clock. 1 year, 2 years, that might just be the warm-up.
Okay, so now let's take our first step up that ladder. This is about making that internal switch, moving away from being driven by how you feel to being driven by an absolute, unbreakable decision. It's all about choosing conviction over convenience.
And this right here just nails the difference. Motivation is awesome, but it's a fair-weather friend, It shows up when you're feeling good and things are going your way. Dedication, though, that's what gets you through the storms, the boredom, the I don't wanna days. It's a promise you keep to yourself no matter what.
This leads to this incredible metaphor from the speech, burn the boats. It's about making a decision so final that going backward is no longer an option. You're not just hoping you'll succeed, you've basically engineered a situation where you have to, because there's literally no escape route.
All right, so you've burned the boats. You're all in. But what fuels that journey? What keeps you going? It's not talent. It's not luck. The speech is crystal clear on this one. It is all about your level of effort.
And the speech draws this really clear line in the sand. It says average people, they live off their talent. They do just enough to get by with what comes easy. But phenomenal people, they live off their effort. Their work ethic is their #1 skill. And that effort isn't just an on-off switch. The speaker describes it like this progression. You start at 60%, you learn to give 80%. Then you master giving 100%. But the magic? The place where phenomenal stuff actually happens is when you learn how to push beyond that 100% wall. And that becomes the new standard, 120%. Now, obviously, it's a symbolic number. It represents that extra gear that most people don't even realize they have. The logic is so simple. You want 120% results, you got to give 120% effort. That's it.
Okay, so we have the standard. But how do you actually live it, day in and day out? You need a mindset to go with it. And for this, the speech uses this incredible analogy, the lion's hunt.
So, before you can hunt like a lion, you need what's called competitive stamina. This is just the raw endurance to outlast everybody else. It's not about being the best for a week. It's about having the grit to still be in the game years from now, long after everyone else has packed it in. I mean, this line right here, it says it all. Your feelings, how tired you are, they become totally irrelevant. The mission, the hunt, that dictates your schedule. You don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. And the message just hammers this point home again and again. It's not about being emotionless. It's about detaching your actions from those feelings. Complaining, feeling sorry for yourself, quitting, that stuff just isn't in the playbook for the hunt.
And this is where the whole metaphor just clicks into place. For a lion, hunting isn't a hobby. It's their identity. It's what they are. And for someone who is truly dedicated, the work isn't just a goal. It becomes who they are. They hunt.
All right, we've climbed all the way to the top of the ladder. This is where that 120% grind and that Lions mindset connect to something much, much bigger. It's about shifting your focus away from the scoreboard and onto your legacy.
And wow, this slide lays out such a huge shift in perspective. Scoreboard watchers are emotional, right? Their effort goes way up when they're winning and it tanks when they're losing. But legacy watchers, they're different. Their effort is consistent because they're not just playing for this one game. They're playing for the highlight reel of their entire life.
And to really drive this home, the speech points to some absolute legends who lived this way. Players like Kobe, Michael Jordan, Ray Lewis. Their greatness wasn't just in the rings. It was in the insane standard they brought to every single practice, every single play, no matter the score.
And this quote is the mic drop. Every single thing they did was tied to their name, to their identity. They knew that every moment was being recorded, creating this permanent film of their effort. Michael Jordan didn't want one single frame of that film to show him taking a play off.
So that leaves all of us with one last really powerful question. If there was a camera rolling on your effort, not your results, but just your effort every single day, what would that film show? Would it tell a story of conviction and 120%, or would it show someone who's always looking up at the scoreboard? Because that film, that's the legacy you're building.